G'day. Yep, yet again, Steve from offthegridnoise.com and Kerry. Late at night on a Saturday night, had a good day in my own way. I'm panning around my shed. We'll call this shed cam. I'm sitting out under my LED lights. There's some flare for you. Sitting out in the shed, and I was thinking about the system. And I know I try to be neutral, and I try to be nice, and I watch all too much panning around the shed. This is all very interesting, not? Anyway, this is my shed. I've got a swivel chair here, and I sit in the shed and I think about life like all you buggers. You probably sit out in your garage, or you sit in your tin shed and you think about, yeah, what's it all about? Well, this is the brutal version, alright? You may not want to watch this if you don't like reality, if you are living in some version of reality that is based on Mary Poppins, or a view that you might have that came from many years ago when you thought the world was innocent. Any of that, right? This is not going to really cut the mustard for you. This is brutal, alright? The system is a bitch. This is system number 5. The system is a bitch, alright? We don't like it. Well, a lot of us don't like it. We don't go along with it. We try to dodge it, but all too many people, and I put, you know, like me and Kerry, we put plenty of videos up on YouTube, and we try to do it all nicely and tastefully and politically correctly, although I'm not really good with the politically correct stuff, but we do all that stuff. At the end of the day though, guys, I mean, you will get to a point, and maybe not this week, it may be not next year, it might take you a couple of years, whatever. Depends on where you are. Depends on how old you are. Depends on how much you've been beaten around by this system. If you bother to watch my other videos, you know that I come from a very positive point of view. But the system is an absolute bitch. I've said this a couple of times. It's an absolute bitch. And the fear and all the things that go along with it will cause you to friggin' look at things that, you know, I can put a video up on how to grow a lettuce, as I've said a couple of times. I can put a video up on how to build a pole home, or I can do all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, if the viewer, you guys at the end of this video, if you're new, and if you're 45, turn the fucking thing off, right? If you've got enough experience and you don't want to hear this shit, well, friggin' turn it off. But for the new people, right? If you're in the process of getting your life together and trying to go off grid and trying to fucking duck the system, well, you know, pictures of my shelves in my shed that are my shed, and I'll actually pan this around. My shed is a reflection of my mind, right? You see this? Lots and lots of stuff. Ooh, blur vision. Lots and lots of stuff. Everyone's mind is full of lots and lots of stuff. And unfortunately, a lot of people think the stuff that they think of is very accurate. It's relative to them, so they figure it's real. But unfortunately, when I get outside my shed, or you get outside your shed or your house, and you sit in a quiet moment and you think, what's this all about? Well, you know what it's all about? It's all about stuff that you see on YouTube all too often. Oh yes, I can this way, and I built this way, and I did this that way. At the end of the day, guys, it's just a whole lot of people manipulating you in one direction or another. You're stuck living within a system that manipulates you. You're stuck living with a new life that you're trying to build. And buggers like me and everyone else that's on the internet are trying to manipulate you in one direction or another. And I only have one thing to say about all that. It all fucking sucks, alright? It all fucking sucks. You've got to make your own choices. And that's what this video is about. Short as it may be. This is an R-rated, fuck you, stop, think outside the square, stop looking at my videos, well maybe not stop looking at them, but stop living your life by my advice, anyone else's advice. It's all to do with what you need to do for yourself. You see a video about some lovely people who do some lovely things, and at the end of the day they just wind up stuck within the system that traps us all. There's no way around that. Really, there isn't any way around it. I can explain how to build this, build that, you know, rah, 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 rah. You've heard it all before. You don't need to hear it again. But we all wind up at the end of the day stuck within some parameters. And the parameters generally are set by the bloody system that you've grown up with. Hope you like staring at my shelf. I can tell you what's on there. You want me to tell you what's on there? I got pumps. I got all manner of stuff on this. I got pigeonholes. I got pigeonholes that I don't know what stuff is in it. And my battery bank charger and stuff. Yeah, sitting in the shed is something I haven't done before. It's night time now. I've had a couple of distilled waters. Now get over it, alright? Yeah, Steve's had a couple of distilled waters, yeah. Look, honestly, this video is just to be brutal about a few things. And the few things I'd like to point out is it's great to think you're going to grow your own veg. It's great to think you're going to slice the throat of your own chooks, and it's great to think you're going to build your own building, and it's great to think that you're going to do all sorts of things. You know, I'm 61. I've been there and done all that, like a lot of people out there. So I'm not here to tell you what to do, but if you think at the end of all this process, if you happen to be unfortunately 25, well actually it's fortunate, I'd like to be 25 again, but yeah, if you think you're 25 and you've got all the answers, all the answers to all the questions, well that's good. You probably shouldn't watch this, but at the end of the day you're going to come to a point where you stop and remember some of the things that you've heard through your period in time. You might have heard something 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 10 years ago, whatever the hell it was. But at some point you're going to stand there and think, well, bottling my food or canning my veg or growing my lettuce or sticking my fucking poles in the ground is all going to seem a bit weird, because all of a sudden what you run into is the reality, which is that you have stepped away from the system. And that's the point of this video. You will wind up questioning yourself. And mark my words, I'm 61. And I'm very fit. And if you bother to watch my bloody videos, God help you. I'm 61. So look, I've been there and done it. I'm not waving a flag or anything. But unfortunately, I am the result of, like all of us, we are the result of all of the experiences that we generate or allow ourselves to be encompassed by. That's what we all wind up. Alright, could be the effect from your parents, could be the effect from the system, could be effect from peer group pressure, could be the effect of any number of things, right? We all wind up the result of all the experiences that we bother to put ourselves through, or agree to put ourselves through, or choose to go through and experience ourselves. We're just a big end result. So, I just don't like people thinking that, I see a lot of videos that go, I'll give you one example. Oh, my footprint is minimal. Well, fuck me. Oh, God, guys, God, get a fucking grip. Do the math, alright? I'm really good at arithmetic, alright? Yeah, I'm a builder, I'm all that, yeah. Do the arithmetic. Divide 7.5 billion people into the square kilometers of land, even though we are a water planet. I know that. Do the math. 7.5 billion people can actually go out there and implement their own thinking on a reasonable patch of dirt without fucking worrying about their fucking footprint. The footprint that has, as you, the main media systems that are out there would have you believe that our footprint, I want me to show you me fucking foot, there you go, there's me foot, yeah, hello. They would have you believe that our footprint has some bearing or some bloody massive end result that causes us all to second think, second guess, or rethink what we're doing because of our footprint. I've got news for you. Do the math, alright? I'm not an environmentalist. I'm not a sociological fucking sort of person who does in-depth analysis of fucking human behaviour across a vast population base. But the fact that we're all rounded up into cities has no bearing on it. If you do the math, let's take Australia. Yeah, lots of countries like South Africa and Africa itself and shit, even America for Christ's sake. You can actually carve these places up and put a fair chunk of dirt under the feet of nearly every person, and if they don't want a fucking BMW, a freaking 6 internet TVs, 4 phones, and like electricity off the grid with fucking huge tower outside their property that just provides them with unlimited power. But if all those same people go out there and do what you and I want to do, which is go off grid and provide for ourselves, the planet can actually provide for 7.5 billion. Alright, it can. Don't do the research. There's a million videos on Google. If you type in YouTube friggin' planetary population, you'll get all number of things. You'll get the oligarchy and the fucking the Illuminati go, oh, we need to reduce the planet to 500 million. We need to cut, like fucking 8 billion people off the planet. Get a big stick and beat them over the friggin' head. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's mathematically bullshit. The corporations have wrecked the planet. The corporations are the one that spew the shit out. You might buy a mobile phone and yeah, you're part of the problem, like me, just like me and Kerry. You're part of the problem, but the corporations and this centralisation of populations have caused the biggest pollution consumerist societies that cause all the problems than any other agricultural society has ever caused. If everyone went out there and just took a couple acres and did their own shit, the world would still survive, guys. We may not have a fucking big ass factory in the corner providing deck chairs for you till you're blue in the face. We may not have a power station that's nuclear powered or coal fired, and I might add, coal fired power plants are pretty clean these days, the new ones. But yeah, we may not have a big power plant because you've bothered to go out there and whack a couple of solar panels up and live within a reasonable set of parameters. Everyone thinks they can turn their fucking oven on and their bloody air conditioner and their freaking vacuum cleaner, and fuck me, why can't I turn everything on together because I'm worth it? I'm apparently, what am I? I feel like I should have this stuff because I'm, what's that word? I can't think of the new political correctness word. There's, entitled. That's the word, entitled. I'm entitled to turn all this stuff on. Guess what? You're fucking not entitled. The world, the planet, this space, flat, concaved, inverted, fucking upside down, whatever the hell you want to describe this planet as, has enough space for all of us to do whatever we want. Without becoming, I think it was some in-depth site I was looking at. If you can look in the mirror and not turn your fingers, your index finger, back at you and think that everything that you do is not focused on you, I'll go heat. Nearly everybody, off-gridders included, they tend to stick that finger backwards into the mirror. Go stand, right now, go stand in front of the biggest mirror in your house and stick your fucking hands in front of your face and go, what counts in this world? And I don't care who you are. I don't care how green you are. I don't care how orthodox, how unorthodox you are in your thinking. Go stand in front of the mirror and stare into it. Stare right into the pupils of your eyes, and you tell me that everything you do does not point right back at you. And that's the problem with the planet. The people who run this planet, the people who instill the fear, the people who build the rules around you, they know that you're going to go into your bathroom and find the biggest fucking mirror you can find, and they know that you're going to look at your fucking, reflection in the mirror, and if the question is put to you, what counts, you're going to turn your both hands in and point back at you. Well, guess what? The fucking world really doesn't revolve or rely on you. What you need to do is take those two friggin' fingers from both your hands, so both index fingers, and turn them around and push outwards. Stop and think about what you're doing. Stop putting videos up to go, oh, my footprint's really small. Oh, fucking honky fucking dory. You know how many fucking billion people it would take to make that actually have any effect? Fucking billions. Alright, that ain't gonna happen. I don't care what you watch. I don't care what dreary fucking multimedia shit you watch. That ain't gonna happen. With 7.5 or 8 billion people on this planet, whatever the hell it is at the moment, you need to take responsibility for yourself. Stop standing in front of the mirror and pointing at you, and go out there and do something for you. Not go, I'm entitled. Not go, I deserve it. Not go, oh, it's too hard because I really should have this without making an effort. Go out there and create it for yourself. And stop fucking bullshitting around with, oh, I don't want to make a carbon footprint. Fuck me, if you believe that, go watch some of the stuff on climate change, alright? Yeah, the planet changes, alright? That's the way the planet is. It changes. The planet is just one of those sort of things. Well, bug me dead. It's been around longer than you and me. Well, I've been around for 61 years, Steve would say. Oh, gee, the planet's changed. Well, I got a fucking funny idea that the planet might have changed a few times before my old ass came along. And it's changed a few times before your ass came along. And you need to fucking realise that all you've got to do is stop standing in the window or the mirror in your bathroom and going, I deserve this, or why can't I have this? Go out there and create it. Create it in the best way possible. And if you create it yourself, what you wind up doing is actually creating a lesser footprint. If that's the bullshit that you actually still believe, well, going and standing in front of the bathroom mirror will give you the opportunity, perhaps, to realise that if you go outside, plant your own fucking lettuce, stick your own solar panel up, maybe cut your debt a little bit so you're not indebted to the bastards, the Illuminati, the the corporations, the government, rah. If you can stand there and go, well, I've broken away from a little bit of that, then you can stand on solid ground and know that 7.8 billion people can actually do that. Do the math. There is enough space. If we didn't spend enough money, the money, Malcolm Turnbull, I think I heard a month ago or so, oh, we're buying 6 more fucking submarines. What? Submarines. Oh, right. What are they used for? Oh, that's right, to blow the fucking shit out of somebody else. Oh, that's a real good fucking theory, isn't it, eh? Oh, right. Malcolm Turnbull, he goes right down the road of the US and many other countries. If the entire world turned 1 year's budget of military bullshit blowing each other expenditure just towards making mankind survive on a different level, on a better level, and making mankind think about his fellow man and encourage them to go and grow their own fucking lettuce and put a solar panel up, I think we'd have change out of the world's military budget in 1 year. And there wouldn't be one fucking baby or one 4-year-old that would die. Every single night I go to bed, just like you, tens of thousands of children. Children that may not have been wanted, may not have been planned, may come from third world countries that can't afford it. Rah, 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 rah. We've all heard the rave. I don't need to spend 2 hours on that. But tens of thousands of children would have clean drinking water. They might have something to munch. They might have a future. And it might not be with a BMW in the fucking driveway. But they might not die tomorrow night. You, I don't care if you grow a fucking lettuce, or if you've got 10 kilowatt of solar, or whether you've got a fucking transportable, or a freaking mini house, tiny house, I call them mini houses. I don't care about that, right? You and me are fucking an embarrassment. Just because we have our shit together does not mean that those fucking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds won't die tonight, right? Go and have your dinner. Go and have your bourbon. Go and have your distilled water. Go and have your lunch. Go sit down under a tree and go, life's good. You know what? Life ain't real good for a shitload of people. And it's not because we've got a fucking large carbon footprint. Fucking spare that shit. Go fucking join some greenie group and fucking waffle that shit to you blue in the face. That will not save the 4-year-old from dying tonight. They will die tonight. Do you get that? Do you fucking get that? And yeah, this is a rave, alright? This is a rave. Turn off now if you don't like hearing fucking truth. You and I, like I show in my videos, we can do whatever we can for ourselves. It does not help that 4-year-old, alright? The system causes those poor kids, those poor underdeveloped nations, to be led down the path of Western capitalism, and they all starve, they suffer. God, you know, how many refugee fucking movies do you have to watch? How many refugee news reports do you have to watch? If you're a poor sod and you still watch the fucking TV, go have a look at that stuff. And stop. Sit back in your chair and think. What does it take to stop that 4-year-old dying or that 3-year-old dying tonight? Tonight! Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, but tonight. You know what it takes? It takes sods like you and me to stop dwelling on how tough life is, or how much effort we have to go to, or how fucking we can all reduce our carbon fucking footprint. If you're down that carbon footprint road, you really need to have a fucking good strong think. If you believe the fucking oligarchy, fucking Illuminati bullshit corporate fucking line that mankind has caused a CO2 fucking increase that's causing the planet to warm, go do some bloody research. And I mean that so fucking seriously. Go do some fucking research. That is absolute fucking twaddle. They actually attach a tax to it. They created that so they can put a tax to it, they call it. Oh, carbon tax. Oh, fuck, I should run out and take one panel off the roof, or only run around on one thong, because that'll remove my, reduce my carbon footprint. Somehow that's going to stop that poor, fucking bright-eyed, intelligent baby, like a baby that you might have. They would have you believe that that would cause that baby, or have some effect on that baby, to not die tonight. Fucking go fucking wake up. Right, this is a brutal video. Go fucking wake up. Nothing you do and grow your lettuce to if I watch another video with people going, oh, I'm self-sustaining and I've reduced my carbon footprint. I'd like to get those fucking people and shove them right up the nose of some fucking starving family in the middle of frickin' nowhere and see what they think about your fucking carbon footprint. Get a fucking grip. More people need to do what I'm doing and what thousands of people are doing now. Make the fucking world wake up. It's so sad. If you can go to sleep at night and not think about the starving and the fucking hungry and the people who die from just fucking poisoned water, and all you wake up tomorrow with is, oh, I'm going to do this because I've fucking reduced my footprint, or I'm being a naturalist, or I'm living sustainably, so the fucking world's good. Guess what? I'm not being negative. I keep saying to you, I'm not a doomsdayer, I'm not a doom and gloomer. But you need to stop and think about the reasons why you're doing what you're doing it, and why you're doing it, and really get a grip on what's happening out in the real world. Then you can go and build your fucking rotunda, build your house, put your water system in, but stop and think about the other people and throw this sort of shit out on the internet. I hope you subscribe and like this stuff if it gets lots of likes. And again, this is Stephen from offthegridandnoz.com. If more URLs like ours get out there, there are plenty out there already, just like me, we're only new to it. But if you subscribe and like to this sort of stuff, what YouTube does is actually brings it up to the forefront when a search is put in. And that way more people might stop and think. And that way more people might stop and actually look at what's going on around them. Look at what's going on with the system. Look at what's going on with the government. Look at what's going on with world news. You know? And if you don't fucking stick your finger down your throat and go, fuck, I can't believe, Malcolm Turnbull, we're going to buy 6 more submarines. To blow the fuck out of who? To protect us from what? I ask you the question if you're Australian. If you stand under the flag, and I actually have a Southern Cross flag here, I'm a bit of a, well, I'm just normal, I hope. But yeah, I don't stand under the Queen's flag, I stand under an Australian Southern Cross flag. If you can look at that and realise that you are very privileged, you are very privileged. You have a charmed life. I don't give a shit what pressure you're under. You might be living in a tent, you might be living in a van. If you're saving up 50 cents to buy a block of land, you are still privileged. There is a lot of shit going on around this planet that has nothing to do with, the things that you and I would relate to. Me and Kerry might have battled our way to where we are. I don't think we're special, right? I do not think we're special. I do not think I'm special. I would like people to think deeper about where they are and what they're doing, and put this shit out there. Get the message out there that the world needs way more people like me and Kerry and lots of others, If you think you're doing good by just going, oh, how much solar do I need? Oh, how do I grow lettuce? If you actually think that's doing some good, stop and think about what you're doing, guys. Ask those questions. They're very valid. But stop and think about what you're actually doing. And throw some information out there that might take SpewTube or make SpewTube and faceplant. Make them, like us, subscribe, do whatever you want. Anything to get this information out. So that we don't watch the fucking media tomorrow go, oh, another fucking 200 people got bombed in some place in the corner of the world because Malcolm Turnbull bought fucking 6 more submarines for us Australians who need to be protected from what? Fuck me drunk. Or the Yanks need another 1,000 nuclear weapons because, they need to keep up with, what? Well, they need to bomb, what? I think Mr. Trump actually has the right view, and I'm going to go down that road in another video. This is the end of the rant for the moment, and it was a big rant. I couldn't give a fuck if you don't like it. Seriously? If you can't listen to this and take it for the way it's meant, bad fucking luck, right? Turn this off. Unsubscribe. Fucking unlike. Unlike. That sounds very weird. But yeah, do all that. You really do need to stop and think about what you're doing. Go forward with what you're doing. Be positive with what you're doing, but stop and think about the world around you. And try and maybe do what me and Kerry do, which is maybe throw a bit of stuff out there that will make people open their ears and their eyes and stop living in the clouds and the dream and the fear. Yeah, stop all that. So subscribe, like, all of that stuff. And I'm going to leave it at that. Now that you've had a good look at my shed, you might have focused on a few things if you're really bored. Shit, my shed, like I said, my shed is a reflection of my mind. It's like a well-organised mess. Remember, well, actually I've made a video on this. You can't create heaven unless you create the mess first. And unfortunately, most of us blokes, we tend to create a mess first. We get all the gear together and we create a mess, and then you create heaven out of it. Throw some of your thoughts out there, and maybe you might create heaven for other people eventually. It's not going to happen overnight, not going to happen next year. But stop putting videos up that go, oh, my footprint's really low, or I live in a tent, so I've got a low carbon footprint. Fucking save that shit for the fucking fairies, alright? Doesn't cut the mustard. It really doesn't cut the mustard. It's all very nice to hear, and I don't mind hearing it, and I do watch it. But seriously, guys, it's not going to save that 4-year-old from dying. You want to save that 4-year-old from dying? Stop looking in the mirror and pointing back at yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself, but think a bit broader. Think a bit wider. Think a bit deeper. Look at what you're doing. Look at what the world's doing, and make comment about it. Throw it up. Throw it up. Throw it out there like thousands of others like me and Kerry are doing. Thousands of others around the world are doing this. You have to stand on a high horse. You don't have to get a cart and wander down your main street. Throw a video up. Stick it out there. Anyway, from Stephen off the grid, Nos.com, signing out. A Saturday night rave after a couple of distilled waters. Kerry keeps saying, don't say that stuff, don't say that stuff, because no one will listen. I could give a fuck whether anyone listens. If one person listens, like I say about my instructional videos or my advice videos, if one person listens, it's worthwhile. Alright? Think about what you're doing. Look in the mirror. Do what you got to do. Cheers from Steve and Kerry. We'll catch you on the next one. Subscribe, like and all that. It does help. We don't make money, but it pushes us up the listing, and it puts all this sort of information out in the real world for other people who unfortunately maybe not be thinking down this road. It's all positive, and I just like to put out a little bit every now and then about issues that really cause me to cry. Yeah, you wouldn't want to see a 61-year-old man cry, eh? So, do your bit. Put some stuff out there. Don't sit back and just think you've got your cup of coffee, you're happy, you're building you got your stumps in. Big deal. Great. Yeah, we've all done it. You'll do it. Do a bit more for the planet. The planet doesn't need a smaller footprint. It needs bigger hearts. It needs more people with